Nobody really prepares you for what it means to raise African children in the diaspora. When we talk about relocation, people often talk about opportunity. They talk about the greener pastures, the education, the exposure, and the financial freedom that comes with relocating abroad. But we often don't talk about the emotional weight of holding two words together. They don't talk about what it feels like to build a life somewhere new while trying not to lose the one you came from. We don't talk about how tiring this can feel, not just physically, but emotionally, because you are not just raising children, we are preserving identity. If you have ever felt that quiet exhaustion, welcome to my channel. This conversation is for you. I'm glad you are here. My name is Ruth. I live in the UK with 4 children. I want to talk about something deeply personal. The mental health of African women in the diaspora. These are some personal reflection, and I've seen it in my life, in my friend's life, and this conversation are drawn from real life experiences, and I hope this connects to you as well. When we talk about the mental health of African women in the diaspora, we are not just talking about motherhood. We are not just talking about career alone. We are not just looking at relocation, but we are looking at the layered experience of doing all these things at once. Raising children, trying to build or rebuild your career, living far away from your family. It can be exhausting. It can be really exhausting, especially when you know that whether you have family or not, whether you have new job or not, you really need to manage finances. And managing finances means that you have to find somewhere to work as soon as you relocate. And this can be very tiring, especially because you are in a system that may not fully recognize your academic qualifications or your job experiences or exposure. You are also adjusting to new climate, jumping out in the morning into the weather to catch a bus, because probably you might not have a car when you relocate newly. You may not know your roots properly, may not understand, have the same accent while communicating with people, so you may have language barrier as well. You also want to preserve your language. You are looking at your children, they are having confusion sometimes about their identity, or you try as much as you can to protect them, protect their confidence, And in the middle of that, you're also trying to hold yourself together, trying so hard not to lose yourself. For me, living in the diaspora is not just about relocation. It is emotional transition, and it can be heavy sometimes. Number one, I want us to talk about raising children without a village. Raising children, it has always been demanding anywhere in the world. But when you are raising children, it requires a lot of patience, presence, emotional regulation, and physical energy. But when you are in diaspora and you are doing it alone, without a village, it becomes something else entirely. I remember when I was back home, support is very natural for me. I can ask for help anytime, bring my mom close, and even the children can visit their aunties, my mother-in-law, or close relative. Raising children back home is quite easy because everybody is part of your life. A neighbor can help you, and there's always someone. But in the diaspora, that built-in safety net disappears, except if you intentionally build one, and it may take years for you to do that. You are the one waking up early. You need to prepare lunch in the morning. You wake up early to prepare meals. You wake up early to prepare for work. You are managing school communication. You are the one attending appointments. You are the one shooting tantrums and staying up when they are unwell. And when you are also trying to work or study or grow professionally, the mental load multiplies. There's no off switch, there's no relief shift. And over time, you may start to feel that quiet loneliness that you don't even know how to explain. For me, it comes like isolation. I start having anxiety. You may feel strong outside, like some people look strong outside. When you are talking with them, they smile, they laugh, they still put up that smile physically or outwardly. So you may think they are capable, they are functional, but internally it can be exhausting. They feel internally exhausted, not because they can't do it, not because we can't do it, but because you are doing it alone. When I mean alone, I mean even with your spouse. I don't mean that, some people even do it alone. Relocation culture and food is another thing. Relocation changes everything. It changes more than your address or geographical location. It changes how you experience the world. Even something as simple as food becomes emotional. I remember when I entered the flight to the UK, I couldn't eat for 12 hours because everything tasted different. The fish and when I boarded, there are just a whole lot of things that didn't taste similar. And for me, food is just more than food. Food is me connecting back to my root. I missed home. You walk into the supermarket and you realize that even the normal tomato paste you have tastes different from the one at home. The fresh tomato has different taste. The pepper, everything feels different, tastes different. The meat, the texture, different. The spices are not quite similar. You can say, I want to eat sauce, and they give you sauce, but the sauce is not the same thing. There's no akara, there's no okpa, there's no abacha, there's there's no igbangu, there's no meat. There can be meat pie, but like as it is from where you are coming from, it's not common, right? Even something as simple as food becomes emotional. You try to create the meals you grew up eating, and something is slightly off, and you can't really explain why that feels. You can't really explain why that feels sad, but it does, because food is memory, and food to me is identity, is comfort. When food changes, it reminds you that you are not at home. And at the same time, your children are adapting quickly. This part is even very funny, but like, they may prefer foods that are influenced by their environment. After you spend hours cooking egusi soup, ogbono soup, oha soup, your banga soup, onugbu soup, bitter leaf soup, your black soup, and all the nice stuff, ogbono soup that you prepared washing your hands well. And all of a sudden, you notice that they really don't like it anymore the way they would have enjoyed it if they were at home. They may prefer instant food, which are influenced by their environment. They will always go for fish and chips, pizza, some of the things that you may consider unhealthy. And when you bring something like akara or pepper soup or chicken, our own chicken, they say it's hard, it's so spicy, but it has never been, right? This can impact on our mental health. Something simple as this. Because they may not crave it. They may not crave what you crave, which means when they grow up, they may not remember that anymore. And now you are negotiating culture at your dining table. You have to eat this. I don't want that. Trying to preserve heritage, trying to allow adaptation, trying not to force it, not to lose it. And that's constant negotiation, my God, can be draining. We have another important one, language and legacy. There's this language. You want your children to speak your mother tongue. I'm from Igbo speaking part of. I want my children to speak Nsukka. You want them to understand their grandparents. You want them to carry their names properly. You want them to feel rooted, but they are growing up surrounded by different dominant language. You speak. For us, our language is very important. We speak our language at home, but you are speaking, they are answering in another language. When you insist, they struggle. When you correct them, they may feel frustrated because you are speaking, they are trying to speak, but they go back to school, go back, interact with other children, and they are speaking in that same language. And slowly you begin to feel, that worry that they may lose it. What if they can't communicate back home, or if something is happening and they can't express themselves in the same language? What if connection fades? That love to be rooted back home? Preserving language in diaspora is an intentional work. Day in, day out, I speak language to the kids. I have hope, right? They try, but it is exhausting to do that. Because you go to work, they go to school, they go to other places, they communicate with other children who don't even speak at all. Doing this doesn't happen automatically. And that responsibility sits heavily on parents, especially mothers. Because language is not just communication. Language is inheritance. Another one we need to talk about is financial pressure. Nobody talks about money. Relocation often means starting again. You may have had a stable career before, or have had even recognition and comfort, but now you are rebuilding, perhaps requalifying, upskilling, and even underemployed because pausing work because of childcare costs are high. Financial pressure is not loud. It sits quietly in the background. It shows up in sleepless nights, in tension in your relationship. Your marriage can feel the impact. It can show up in your self-doubt. What's happening to me? Am I still who I am? Sometimes you may feel dull, especially when you have not prepared for something and you go for interview and said you are not qualified. Self-doubt can come, fear can erode your safety. It can feel quite heavy for you. When you compare yourself to where you thought you should have been, and knowing that you are not there with your extended family to help absorb this financial stress, can feel heavier. But I want you to understand this. You have to be patient. If you just arrived abroad recently, transition is not failure. Just take time for adjustment. Over the years, things will become lighter as you get rooted in the environment that you relocated to. Let's talk about the big one, the weather. When I moved from Nigeria to the UK, I felt that climate shock. It is very real. So moving from a warmer region to a colder one, your body feels it. It wasn't just the cold, because I had an idea that it gets colder, but everything was not familiar. I felt like my body needed a lot to learn a lot about the environment. It felt different. My brain was just trying to process a lot of things. So imagine walking home around 4 p.m. and everywhere is dark. Back home, it usually gets dark around 7 p.m. It's quite different. So it can impact on your sleep pattern, on your activities, because if you like doing things during the day and you see that it's already dark, it might start affecting you. Some people may feel unsafe walking on the road because the weather is darker. It affects some people's sleep pattern, and the cold as well. It's usually so difficult for some people to sweat. It discourages walking. Some people don't want to walk out on the cold. You just realize that when some African women move up abroad, they start adding weight because they are no longer that active as they used to be. It becomes their metabolic rate slows down, their sleep pattern, the stress of jumping up and down in the cold and all that starts affecting a lot about them. So yes, it can impact on our weight. Some people that they cannot make out time to go to the gym. So as a fitness coach, this is where I'm coming in. I want you to take your health very seriously. You make out time, especially if you just arrived here. Sometimes go out for that walk. Why do we have coats? Why do we have jackets? We have jackets because it protects us from cold. Wear your shoes, your boots, put everything on and move. Do you understand? Sometimes have a walk. Even if you have a car, have a walk. It will help to clear your head, to reduce that mental overload that is piling up. It helps to keep your feet, your body and feet as well, your organs as well, your muscles. So do not allow the weather to stop you from moving your body. Or even if you can't go out, you can just stay within your garden and do your little body movements. You can lift some weights with even water, a gallon of water, small bottles. You can use it to lift weights to keep your body fit. Or you can even dance in your house. Use equipment if you can't go out. Keep your body very active, because if you are waiting for the weather may never be favorable. And then, if you want summer body, also remember that during the winter, winter is the greatest period for you to use and get your summer body. Don't also rely on quick refined products. I know that we get busy, right? We get busy, so it will be very okay for you to go into the shop, buy vegetables, buy healthy stuffs and cook your lean meat, your vegetables, your egg. Egg is the essential part of protein. It is complete. It contains all the nutrients that your body needs to function. Buy your kale, buy your tomatoes, buy your pepper. Have healthy meals. Don't rely on noodles or the processed carbs all the time. Sometimes they are not good for your gut. So yeah, why the weather is bad? Be intentional about your health, be intentional about your movement, be intentional about what goes into your fluid. Very, very important. And also involve your family, your children. Get blinds in your apartment. If it is too bright during the summer, get blinds to help the kids to sleep. Get darker shades of curtain to create that atmosphere of darkness for you if it's too bright, and that's carry it on from there. Another thing that is that people experience, we don't talk about our color often, we don't talk about our hair, but these things are there. Hair is our identity, and if we don't care for it, it can affect our confidence. One thing I've noticed when I came here, comments like, "Oh, this hair is too small. I like your hair. Why is this so short? Have you changed your hair again? Oh, what is that? Is that your hair? Do you even wash it?" This is coming from people who are ignorant about our color, our hair texture, and the differences in our hair, our hair type. Do not let some of these comments discourage you. Sometimes they may seem harmless, right? But you provocative. I remember someone telling my daughter that, "Oh, your hair looks like a basketball net." So when she came, she told me that she was crying. I told her, "You can't cry when someone says that thing." It was a nasty thing. It was a discriminatory thing because he didn't say that to other people. What it means is that he is trying to say that he doesn't like your hair because you are from a certain race. I went to school. I told them this is hate discrimination. They explained. They were able to do some teachings about hair identity and that, because I told my daughter there's nothing wrong with your hair, it is just different. People should be able to understand that we have differences. It doesn't make our own bad or inferior. So while you talk to your children, it's always okay as a mom to remind them that there are differences. It's okay that we have differences in skin, in color, in hair, in food, in everything we do, but that shouldn't make them start feeling bad about what they have, their own thing. They should try to protect it. By doing this, we understand, we start rediscovering ourselves to become a better mother, to be protector, to be a provider, and we hold everything together. It can be very tough at that early stage, but do not forget yourself as a woman, that you are not just a mother. You are not only an immigrant. You are not only a provider. You are not only responsible for others as a wife, but you are a woman that still has a dream. You matter. So make sure you ask yourself this question: what you are doing this point, does it bring you joy? Does it keep you healthy? Are you neglecting any part of your life that you would have built? Is there anything that you are not paying attention to that is making you unhappy? You can start small, right? Start your fitness routine like I advise. Eat healthy, go out for a walk. You network with other African women who have established themselves here. Go out for a movie. Makeup, we like makeup as women. Live that baby girl life and relax for yourself. Write down some things that is bothering you. Go for a creative outlet. You can listen to take new courses as well on some of the issues that are bothering you, and before you know it, you can write it down, right? You start rediscovering yourself. This is not you being selfish. This is you holding it together, because a lot of things rely on your shoulder. So when you hold it together, every other things start aligning. If you're an African woman in the diaspora raising your children and feeling stressed, let me say this clearly: you are not failing. You are not alone. I was there. I feel much better now, but I know that a lot of people go through that pressure, especially those that are working and are doing it alone. They go through this pressure, they come back, it has impact on their mental health, which affects also their relationship with their friends, their colleagues at work, and even their marriage, and even on their children. Do you understand? So you are navigating multiple transitions at once. Job, new culture. You are holding your own culture, trying to put it together. It's as if you are losing it. It's as if you are not doing well, right? You are still asking your question, what you are doing, am I really building a good system? You are also protecting identity. You want to help redefine success. You want to make sure you don't lose your identity while you are also abroad. You want to build your children's confidence, and that is not weakness. I want you to understand that this is a phase, and everything will reduce. The pressure will reduce as time goes on, and you know that this thing, wherever you are now, things will eventually get lighter around the later on. Seek for help and support from friends, and also be willing to give as well, because other people are also in the same problem. But when you build with people who are genuine, who are kind, even if talking with people can bring that relief in your life. So build your village, preserve your culture with joy, give yourself grace in this transition, protect yourself, rest when you should. Remove your eyes from things like when you are supposed to rest. Don't be saying, oh, I've not cleaned up, I've not done this. You cannot do everything at the same time. Give yourself that grace. As a mom, you have to pay the bills, right? There are some things that you cannot do. So when you create that system that will help you be able to find time to rest, and do not lose yourself in this process of building everyone else. You are the story, and it is still unfolding. You are doing better than you think. Thank you. If you got to this place, I want you to please subscribe to my channel. I have passion for women mental health and fitness and relationship. These things I feel connect together. Please like, subscribe, and share to other women. I want you to always come back to my channel, because you will see something that will inspire you. Thank you for your time. Bye for now.